So let's go through our Twig while Wayne gets set up there. I'll go through my Twig.
Still can't hear me?
Go ahead. Pull yours.
This Week in Gaming, which is very light.
Oh.
Let's see here. All right. So, I'll start with tonight. Make it easy. Right off the bat, spent some time with Rob. We played some toy battles.
Toy battle, yeah.
It's currently on the table. You can see it if you're watching on video. We played, I think, 3 different maps because Rob said to me, and I didn't believe him, but Rob said to me that he has never played any map other than the castle map, the base first level castle map.
Yeah.
And I know you've played at least a few times on BGA.
BGA, yeah. I think if you just start a default game, that's what it starts as, just that one castle. I know, and when I played at Dice Tower East, that's all they had set up was just that one that was out there, so to demo.
So what did you think of we played the Sandcastle map, we played the Rainbow Road, Sky City, I think it's called,
something like
map.
that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we played the
names are right underneath that box there.
The Volcano Jungle, that's what it's called, Volcanic Jungle.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're starting to see different bases. What are your thoughts on Toy Battle?
My thoughts are I like the one that I won. I hate the 2 that I lost. How about that? So you got 2 out of 3. Brother. So yeah,
that's not right.
No, I liked it. I like the variety that just by changing the map, changing the board, which are just these little boards, you can change a major rule, a semi-major rule of how the game works. So I mean, the basic mechanics are the same. You're still creating supply lines, connecting guys together. You're still winning one of 2 ways, either by collecting enough of the stars, the victory points, or by invading and taking over your opponent's base. So the 90% of the game is the same, but again, just by playing another board, which took us 30 seconds to switch from one board to another, it changes one of the mechanics of the game and gives you a way to either deploy more troops, to take out troops of your opponents. What else did we do? In the sky when we were adding...
There's one pushing. The volcano pushes troops around.
That's right. Allows you to push people away.
The sandcastles let you snipe, so you can incapacitate a unit for 1 round.
Put them to sleep, as you called it.
Yes, enter Sandman.
Yeah, something like that.
That kind of sleep.
Okay.
And then the Sky Castle just lets you draw. That had the good feelings, like it lets you draw more units.
Yeah.
But I really like the Sandcastle one, where you're actually able to combo up. So if you can kill a unit and at the same time knock out another unit, it really messes with the other players' plans that they had for that next round.
Testing.
That's the whole thing with this game. It's fun, and I think I mentioned that when you feel like you're winning in this game, when you feel like you've got an advantage, you kind of get a little, or I tend to get a little sloppy. But when I feel like I'm pinned, when you're really coming at me, and I really think through what I'm doing, you find all the little holes, all I gotta do is throw a guy there. That messes up your supply line.
The monkeys.
I'll just parachute over there,
monkeys.
And mess everything up for you. So, but that's the fun of it. And it plays in 15 minutes. You play a whole game, 15 minutes. You clear the board, as Carlos does, just lift it up and flip all the stuff off of it. Everybody find their pieces again. You put down a new board, and you're playing again in 5 minutes. So, all
right. So I was going through my Twig.
Gaming,
we were playing some toy battles with Rob. We were talking about that. Yes, we each agreed that the board abilities make the game different.
Yep.
But what I really think I had a good time with you tonight, Rob, is the different strategies that were employed in each of the different games for the win. You talked about how you'd never seen a stack of bodies so high.
Oh, we had 10. Well, we had 10 high in one spot.
Like right now, if you looked at my board, right in front of my base, you would see a stack of like 7 bodies.
Yeah.
Because Rob is just trying to just take that spot to take my castle. And then in another match, we played for the medal win, and then in a match before that,
I was going for the medals, and then you snuck in and grabbed my castle.
Well, the first match, you were going for medals, and I snuck into the castle. The second match, you got me on medals, and then in the third match, for the first time, I hadn't seen this before. It was a game of attrition. Rob ended the game by not being able to play a piece or draw.
That's right.
And since he had medals and I didn't, he won the game. So we got to see all different win conditions.
Yeah, different ways to end it. Yeah.
I think Rob and I on BGA got to the point where we ran out of pieces to play in one of the games. We played like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I remember one game I played at Dice Tower. We were down to like 1-1, and then somebody finally won it. So, but we were down to our last couple of tiles. So, yeah, I mean, it can go a lot of ways. I've seen this game go really quick, and then I've seen it, go back and forth, and you use almost everything. So, but again, just kind of a testament to how good a design this little quick 15-minute game is. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
it is good. It's very cute. I gotta share this one out.
What else did we play tonight?
We played some Raw tonight.
Oh, you played some Raw, 2-player? Yeah.
2-player Raw. Yeah.
I had been reading the rules and reading reviews, and I'm like, I'm itching to play this at 2 players. So many games that are just good at multiple player counts. You get to that 2-player count, and they just stink. And I'm like, I wonder if Raw is it. Some of the reviews have said, I prefer playing at 2 players. I really like it at 2 players. So I was very curious.
Yeah.
We only got 1 play-in.
Yeah.
But I had a blast.
It was good.
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I know you were a little disappointed maybe that I wasn't as excited about it at 2-player, but again, I've played it a lot at 4 and 5, and I've seen a lot of that where if you get the right crowd and they're into it, and everybody's rah, 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 and that pressure, all 4 people chanting at one person, do it.
I think that the 2-player game is probably much more like chess, where it's very cerebral and you're kind of just whereas like at bigger, it's more intimidation, it's more vocal,
peer pressure, and yep.
Yeah, there wasn't as much of that pressure across the table to do stuff.
Yeah,
but you were really mathing out like, okay, I can quantify what the value of this set that I'm going to be gaining is, and then I know what token I'm losing compared to the token I'm picking up. So is this worth it or not? Yeah. And then looking at Rob's pieces, I can see how much power I have over his pieces.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can start to math out like, well, if I play this number, I know that his only option is his highest one.
He was sitting there doing math. He was like the whole game. And he was like, all right, if I do this, that's a difference of 9. And if I do that's 7. I was like, oh, come on, just play tiles. That's all I'm doing. I'm playing tiles.
And then I draw, and it's Raw.
Well, he beat me by 5, so it was a close game. But he did win. So
you know what's funny is I actually watched like a good chunk of like the final table of the Raw Championship
World Series.
at the World Series of Board Games.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting because they had like the 4 players clearly had 4 very distinct play styles. Where one guy was going for the monuments and one guy was going for the flood and whatever. And then the guy who won, actually, like the whole time, the commentary was like, I don't know if he's playing to like win here because he's calling Raw like every 2 seconds.
Somebody who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he really pushed the game quick. And like what he did was he got like a couple of the end of era bonuses that he would get every time. And then he just pushed the game as quickly as possible, so that the people who were trying to build up stuff didn't have the time to build it up. He kept calling Raw on them like left and right. So it was interesting. It was fun. I've actually like watched a decent chunk of like several of the final tables just to see play styles, and it's like interesting, like how like when people were like when 20 grand's on the line, you're thinking a lot different about a game than like when we were just playing.
It's a little intense.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of them from this year yet. I need to go back and start watching them because I want to see some of them. But
But some of the stuff that I got to flesh out with Raw this week, because I know I talked about it last week when y'all came over and taught it to me. Thank you very much. You guys rock.
Of course we do.
I ended up having to buy it. Like
had to buy it.
Had to. Could have been like me and bought like the last version for like $10.
Well, I looked at it. I did. I looked at it. But here's some of the things that I got out of this one. This new one with the new board. On the board itself, Wayne, it has the quantity and the sets of each type of tiles you're going for. So it'll say for the civilizations, there are 5 times 5 different types.
I never noticed.
Right there on the board. Not only that, it shows you on the board, these are very tiny little icons, how many red disasters there are for each type.
Oh, okay.
So you can really start mathing these things out.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, I never noticed. Yeah.
Right. Like they did a really good job with this player board.
Although I will say, like you pointed out, when we played last week, we played like a rule or 2 wrong.
3.
Like
or 3.
Yeah, but really, only one of them really mattered, and I still would have won. But
Carlos has a dissenting opinion on that, but go ahead.
I still would have won. I won by enough that even if you didn't multiply, it took away 10 or whatever, I still would have won. But no, I don't like the iconography on the flood versus Nile, because the way that iconography works, it makes it look like it's multiplying, not.
In our first epoch, even after I said, "Hey, we played these things wrong," We just looked at the iconography math
Yeah.
and did it wrong.
Yep.
we
Yeah.
did it wrong
Yeah.
again.
To say, I'm not a fan. Like, and what's funny is they spent so much time. One thing I do love, I will say about the new version of Raw is it has much better iconography than previous versions, and it's much clearer. Although clearly that one isn't.
Yeah.
But you know what? I figured out what it is. So the iconography in relation to the Nile and the flood tiles.
Right.
Niles are your permanent left side tiles that are river at the bottom. Flood are your temporary right side tiles for the flood.
Yeah.
However, when you look at the iconography that shows you how to score it, on the left side of that formula, it starts with flood.
You would expect to see a river tile on the left, and that's where we figured out. I looked at it closer, and I was like, "Oh, no, that's not a river. That's the flood tile on the left side where the river tiles go." So that's that's where it got confusing.
Backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Had they put the formula for how to score it so that it was directionally the same,
Yeah.
I think we wouldn't have made the mistakes.
Would have helped.
Yeah.
It would have helped.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little thing. I'll just wait for
I
the
think
next
that's
edition
part
and
of,
buy that one.
sometimes not even just with Raw. Like, I understand the idea of trying to be language independent, right, and using iconography. But like, unfortunately, I think in some games, in a lot of games, the iconography can be confusing if you don't have the language behind it. So it's like it's better to read the rule than look at the iconography sometimes. And like, I get trying to be language independent, because if you have a game that's language independent, you can print it and one place, print it all, and then ship it all over the world. But yeah, I think that the when you read the rule, it makes way more sense than looking at the iconography on that.
Yeah. But the verdict at 2 players, it is fun. It's still a good game. It's definitely not a waste of time. It definitely wasn't, oh, this is a pared down version. I mean, it changed the way the game played a little bit, but it was still a fun game. Carlos really enjoyed it, so I'm glad, because he just invested in it. So yeah,
that's a plus for Rob, because I don't think Medici and Drum Fabric, Hollywood Blockbuster, are not going to be good at 2. Like, those games, those games you really need bigger groups for.
If we get a chance, like if it's just you and me and no Rob, I'm really gonna push for Raw.
It's never no Rob. I'm always here. No,
yeah, I know, right?
Like a good
but you need
disease.
So now you've played Raw and you played Hollywood Blockbuster. We need to get you to play Medici.
Yeah, Medici. Yeah, we gotta try
so
that one.
I mean, the reason I pulled the trigger on Raw when we were done with it, I did not think I played a bidding game. Like, I did not feel it felt like a set collection game where I used these chips to cash them in to buy stuff. Like, it really didn't, like, the bidding wasn't
in your face.
The thing.
I think you will like Raw best out of the 3, but I think you will like Medici because it's similar, because you're collecting sets and you're trying to move up tracks, and then you're bidding. I think the thing that you're not going to like is you're bidding with your
points.
Carlos ended up in the negatives.
Yeah. Whereas Raw, you have a set bid, right? You have 3 or 4
choices.
That's it, right? So it simplifies the bidding there. Whereas Raw, you could really with Medici, you really could be like, okay, well, I'm going to bid 30 here, and I'm spending 30 of my victory points because I know that this is going to get me this and this and this, and it'll end up being more than that, right? And figuring that out is the trick.
And remind me, with Medici, I've played it, I think, 3 or 4 times now. It's not just once around the table of Medici, right? You can keep going and increasing your bid.
No, it's once around.
Oh, it is just once around? Oh, okay.
It's once around, yeah.
Okay.
I like the once around. That's a good rule, because it's you've got to really make that decision, and then that's it. Like, you don't have to come. I don't have to come back to the decision again. Yeah. So some of these bidding games, or like poker, it comes back around. Like, well, do I raise? You know, it's too slow for me. But the Raw, for me, it's that similar to Skyrise, that organization of the bidding chips, right, such that no player has the same number, adds so much decision space, because depending on how the things work out, you can see how much power you have in front of you compared to others. So, like, there was a moment in the game, Rob, where the power shifted.
Oh, yeah.
You had the majority of the higher chips, and I had the lower ones. I felt like you had control. You were able to push me around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you really want to waste your highest chip? That's 6 of yours. Oh, it's going to go.
Yeah.
Right? Because he had the 7, 8, 9, right? So, like, he had the power. And then I swapped out one of my chips for the bigger chip, and then I felt the next round, you only had one chip that was bigger than my second most powerful.
Yeah.
So
I think in a 2-player game,
control.
that swing in a 2-player game would probably be even bigger.
Yeah.
Because in a 3 or 4-player game, everyone's gonna have one big one, and you just want to drive somebody to use their big one, and then you slowly chip away at people's power. Whereas 2-player, it's gonna kind of go boom, 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 back and forth.
It was good. It was good. Very good.
It was good. Yeah.
So
Rah.
And then call out for the box. I didn't get to talk about it last week because I didn't have it, but it came in this week. My copy of Ra is the same footprint for the most part, like of the tall and wide, but the depth of the box is like another inch or half-inch at least.
Yeah, half-inch maybe.
And it's not too huge.
Yeah.
But it's enough that it allows for the full closure of the box. So I guess in the reprint, they must have made a change.
Yeah.
And just made the box a little bit deeper.
Some people struggling to close it like I did.
Yes. Outside of that, nothing else changed in this reprinted update that I could tell. Everything else was, the components are nice, and I've been looking at that deluxe.
The deluxe is really nice, like with all the coins and everything.
Metal points.
If Ra was my favorite of the 3, I probably would have gone in for the deluxe.
It's nice.
It looks nice.
I've played it a couple times, but
yeah, the metal coins and like Dice Tyrese, when you play with their copy, it's like the deluxe with those metal
points. Yeah.
Point things are pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's heavy though. Like that box, you're like, Jesus, it's like 30 pounds.
Heavy already.
And the tiles are wood instead of plastic, so the draw tiles, so they're heavier. Everything's bigger and heavier.
Yeah, like that draw bag is just jam packed and like mixing it up, try to get in there. It's like hard. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Nice.
All right, let me see what else is on my Twig. I got a lot of games of Jungo in, so we've had a lot of church events.
Still haven't played that.
Oh, you still haven't played it?
I haven't played Jungo yet. No.
So Jungo is Scout Light. So I taught it to my son, Gabe. We got, I think, 7 or 8 plays in while waiting at church for mom to get out of a class. And he had played Scout with me before, so he's familiar with Scout. He likes Scout, and he agreed it is very much Scout, but a lot easier. We're really able to get a lot of games in. I don't think it'll hold our attention. So, like, if it's just you and me, like, we're not playing Jungo.
Okay.
Right? We're playing something deeper, like a Scout. Sure. But if you're trying to introduce people who want to play Uno, right, and you bring out Jungo, you've taken it to the next level for them.
Okay.
Because it still has that whole, you can't change the order of the cards in your hand. But it adds even more to it, Rob, because on your turn, if you choose not to play, you can draw, and then you have the option to add that to your hand or discard it or use it to play. So it adds more opportunities to manipulate your hand. And whenever you win a hand, so if I beat your hand that's played out on the table, I then have the option to take your cards and add it to my hand or discard them. So there's more manipulation of your hand than there is in Scout. But the winning criteria is to shed all your cards.
Right. So
there's that duplicity of it of, oh, well, I have 1 7 in my hand and I just beat Rob's pair of 7s, but I could take his pair of 7s, put it in there with my 7. Now I have 3 7s, but I increase the size of my hand. So it allows for that strategic arc of play.
Strategery.
Right. Like, I'm going to play my cards in this order because I think it's going to give me the win. That's where the fun came in. So Jungo, good times, good game. I think everybody should have a copy of that in their bag, like their everyday bag. And then finally, the one that I want to talk about the most, that I had the best time playing, even though I did the worst, was Thunder Alley. We had our second race, third week, because we had the preseason. Yep. But this is our second official race. Wayne, you got the win, right?
I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Just happened to win
so
that
humble.
One. Yeah.
Thunder Alley is. So we're doing it every week. So you're probably gonna hear me talk about it every week.
Every week,
because every week I'm gonna be reminded of just how much fun this game is.
And I think an individual game of it is good, but the fact that we're doing like a season, and we're like that's really sticking. The stakes are super high now. So it's awesome. Yeah.
It is very much a social game. There's so much conversation, discussion, side text, and then deciding like how much do I want to help them, how much does it help me when I help them. It's Thunder Alley. If you've never played, get it played. It's amazing. Yeah. Congrats, Wayne, on the win.
What I'm learning too is as cool as like you don't want to run out in front. right? And you kind of want to stay with the pack and kind of play with things. And if you end up being like, who was it? Was it Pants was like he had all 3 of his cars in the top 6, like going into like the last lap.
Yep.
But like by the time we crossed the finish line, he was way back, right? Because people were like trying to cut him off, and we're going around him and stuff. So it's like it's almost like you need to really kind of like stay with the pack, and then you really at the right moment make a break with one of your cars or 2 of your cars or something like that. And there is some luck with the card draw, but I think what makes the game great though is you're going to play 2 or 3 laps, right? So you're going to draw, 4 cars or 3 cars, whatever it is, multiple times. It's like, when do you pit? When do you not pit? When do you stay out? When do you stay with a group? It's those little micro decisions all along the way that mitigate your card draw that I think is great. Now you could get screwed up and your cars get left behind and you don't have any push-pull cards. You don't have any like catch the pack cards. And so there is some luck in the card draw, but if you're staying with the pack, you're kind of going to get dragged along, so it's fun. I'm enjoying a lot. And I know we're talking about maybe after this season, maybe trying to figure out how to do a Flamme Rouge season, which I would love to do because I love that game more. Yeah. But I like
or Heat.
No, not Heat. Heat sucks.
Here's what I want to say about Thunder Alley, Wayne. Before we move on.
Yeah, go.
You talked about not wanting to be in the lead, right? But here's where it starts to get fun. When you're in the lead for the season,
everybody teaming up,
right? Even before the race starts, right? Wayne, have you received a text this week yet about like planning next week's game?
Mm-mm.
That's because you're in the lead. Because you're at the top.
You're the only one.
Everyone else is texting.
I'm not at the top though. I won this week, but someone else won week 2. Yeah. Like, someone else won week 1. Wayne. I only won one of the 3 weeks.
Those side chats are happening, brother.
Well, who won week 1?
Dan did, didn't he?
Yeah, and who teamed up against Dan this week?
Right.
We did.
So then, and then there's Wayne got 2 podiums. That's why I think you're in the lead for the season.
Is he?
Yeah, I came in 3rd the first week and first and
third?
second.
Yeah, 2 podiums in a row will get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so so unlike Heat and unlike a lot of the racing games, I think Thunder Alley and I think Flamme Rouge, they're the only 2 racing games that I've played where it doesn't have a clear runaway leader, because you cannot in Flamme Rouge or Thunder Alley run your car or your bike out in front, because you're going to lose if you do that.
Yeah.
Where like Heat and I don't know any of the other million racing games out there, generally, if you get to an early lead, it's hard to lose it. It's very hard in Heat to catch somebody.
Because once you're up there, you don't need to push your luck anymore. At this point, you're just mathing out your corners.
Right. And it's like, I'll be honest, I dislike Heat. I don't like it. It really, I've played it a million times on BGA at this point, not a million, but 30, 40, 50 times. And literally whoever's leading through the first turn, big turn, that person wins like 9 times out of 10. So that game becomes not fun anymore. Because it's like, well, this person's maybe they made it through that first turn before anyone else. See ya. They're not getting caught unless it'd be a miracle for them. They have to actively screw up for you to catch up to them, and I don't like that. But look,
unforced error, because they don't need to force a push your luck scenario.
Yeah, but like Thunder Alley and Flamme Rouge, you can't do that. Like, generally, the person that's in the lead in the first turn doesn't end up winning.
And for different reasons. With Flamme Rouge, it's because you're taking that fatigue
that stress,
by leading the pack, and so you get your cards clog up with cards that don't help you as much. In Thunder Alley, it's because if you jump out to the lead, and especially in multiplayer games, when you've got 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 other people playing, everybody's like, oh, well, somebody feels furky. They're jumping out to a league. We need to team up against them.
Right.
We need to make sure they don't stay out in front.
Right.
And then
like the yellow card, everyone catches up, and there's other way. Yeah, there's
So, but
yeah, I mean, I like Heat's a good game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just feel that
you did say that. Those are quite literally the words you
didn't
used.
like it, but I, don't know,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Yeah. I don't like the fact that there's a runaway leader. I think a lot of racing games have that problem. So
yeah.
I know Carlos likes it. Rob, do you like Heat?
Just get good. I like Heat. I like the mode where you modify your cards and you draft your improvements and some of the alternate tracks I've played on. The base game of Heat with just the base stuff, just a one-off race, I don't love. But if you were to do a season and string them together and your results carry over and some of your upgrades carry over, then I start to enjoy it more. So
yeah. Especially when you need the asymmetric powers, because then your car is different than everybody else's. I like trying to combo my moves to get the slipstreams. All this. It's a different cerebral feeling playing Heat and trying to combo that set of cards, and then balance. For me, it's that balance of that Heat deck. Like I want to keep my car pushed just to the limit, but not over that. And it's finding a way to do that. It's enjoyable.
I know it's the same designers, but I still think Flamme Rouge is better.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Flamme Rouge is good. That has a different feeling.
Yeah, it's
that
different.
That has a feeling of as I go, I'm losing options. And in Heat, I feel like the more I play, the longer I play, the more options I get, the more I can open up because I can balance my heat, I can cool down, and you try to do that cadence so that last lap you've used every inch of that car, like every last fiber is being you've exhausted it. You've left no tires on the table.
Yeah.
Great racing games. Good times this week playing racing games. Those are my twigs. Rob, do you have any twigs that I missed?
The only thing else I played this week, I mentioned to you that I started a campaign going through an old throwback, an old game, Dungeon Crawler Descent, 2nd edition. I mean, gosh, this has got to be more than 10 years old now, I would think. I'd have to look and see, but it's an older game. And I was telling Carlos he hadn't even heard the original 2nd edition when you bought it for the first year or two. It came with a campaign, which of course they do. I forget the name of the campaign. You can't even buy or find or get that anymore. And I guess there was a balancing issue where it kind of snowballed. Excuse me, depending on the scenarios kind of split depending on whether the dungeon master wins or the heroes win, and then you go to another one way or the other depending on who wins. And I guess it tended to snowball when it started going down one track. That side got just stronger and stronger and stronger. So they completely overhauled it. They have in the newer copies of it after the first year or two. There was a whole new campaign book. They supposedly they took the PDFs offline, where you can't even go online and download that original campaign anymore. They've tried to wipe it off the face of the map. And when I was looking on some of the boards and stuff, there were some underground ways where, hey, here's a secret one. And actually, they even had taken one offline because somebody had gone online and taken pictures of the campaign book and posted them up. And then I guess they went. It was at Fantasy Flight, went after them and nixed it all. They took all those sites offline. They hit them with copyright stuff, and so they don't even want that stuff out there. So
hit them like the Warhammer.
Yeah, there you go. So they've replaced it with a whole new one. We're playing digitally now, so. What happened, and this is when Carlos and I really kind of got even more interested in it, because we played it a few times head-to-head out of the old campaign book, but they digitized it so that you could play cooperative. And so that if you're playing just a two-player, instead of one person having to play the bad guys and one person playing the heroes, they digitized it to where the app then controls the bad guys, and then the players pick heroes and play as heroes, and it actually takes control of all your money. It pulls everything, all of your experience. It gives you all of your options. It's actually really nice at the beginning. All the extra content and expansions they've had. I mean, they've got probably 20, 30 expansions over the years that you could buy for it. When you first go into the app, you actually tell it which expansions you have, and then it will build a campaign or do a campaign for you where it will pull content out of the different expansions that you have. So the expansions had additional player board, or not player boards, but game boards that you fit together like puzzle pieces. They had additional, what they called lieutenants, the bad guy leaders. They had additional bad guy packs. they had, just everything. They just added more of everything. And so if you tell the app at the beginning that you've got more than just the base game, it may play a similar campaign to what somebody else is playing, but if you've got an expansion that somebody else doesn't, it may pull monsters out of that expansion and plop them down in your game. So it's really cool. But anyway, so getting back to it, me and the 21-year-old and the 13-year-old boys that are living at home right now, last night started the tutorial. We played through the tutorial for the first campaign that they have now online. It took us a couple of hours. It ran a little longer than we were expecting, but the two boys were still just learning the mechanics they have never played before, and they had a blast. By the time we were done, they both agreed, yeah, let's continue with this. We're gonna keep going with the campaign. The tutorial kind of leads you into the campaign and shows you how everything works. It runs you through some sample turns. It's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. Playing through. Campaigns tend to be, I think, 6 to 9 scenarios long. Each scenario is usually a couple of hours. So I'm hoping we're getting. They advertise like 20 hours per campaign. I'm hoping we'll get a good, solid 20 hours out of this one, and working cooperatively just makes it, I think, that much more fun. That nobody's having to play the bad guys, nobody's having to play the dungeon master. We're just all trying to beat up on the bad guys and work together. So a lot of fun. But that's I just started that last night. Was up until midnight-ish playing that. But other than that, just the games I got played here tonight. And Ticket to Ride, James trying to get me to remember, because I don't ever mention, but we finished our campaign of Ticket to Ride. Was it Trails to the West or Rails to the West or what? Yeah, Rails to the West, I think it is. And so we did finish our campaign. We did a double this week and 2 games in one night and finished up the last 2.
Done with it?
We are. We were all. We mentioned afterwards that we were all happy we did it, but we're all glad it's done. The 12 games. So I mean, that's not as negative maybe as it sounds. I mean, it's just, again, we all 4 that are in this particular game group are all heavy Euro. Really competitive players, and you can only go get so competitive in Ticket to Ride. There's only so much you can do, to mess with each other or whatever. So, I mean, it was a nice light reset. We are going into, I forget the name of this, Solar 145 or 2145 or whatever, Solar something. If Jim's out there, he'll Jim's, I see the Seahawks there, but anyway, if Jim's out there, he'll correct me. But we are going to start next week another campaign game. I'm told I will like it because it's Orleans like. It's a bag builder or a bag puller. You're pulling stuff out of a bag, putting it on a board to do your actions, and it's a space conquest type game, and it's a campaign where the map and the space gets bigger and rules get added as we go. Jim's the owner, and he's been excited about this one. He's been talking to us about getting this one played for Solar 175. I was close, 145, 175. Only off by 30. But anyway, thank you, Jim. Yeah, Jim's been excited about us playing this, and I'm not going to say negative. I am probably the least excited between the 4 of us about it. I know Daryl and Sam are both real excited about playing it. I don't know. I might be confusing it with another game. And so I got to see it once we get it to the table and get it set up. There was another game that I had learned a little bit about. I'd watched a video or 2, and I'm almost certain I'm thinking of the wrong space game. I mean, because space games these days, I mean, there's so many out there. But yeah, but there was one that I watched that just, when I watched it a couple years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested. And so I'm hoping I'm completely wrong. And again, the one I remember learning about, I don't remember anything about bag building or pulling stuff out of a bag. So again, I'm pretty sure I'm off base here, and so I'm hoping I'm going to love it. I'm hoping I'm completely wrong. Yeah, Carlos is flipping through the pictures here. This is different, I think, than the one that I was thinking of. So yeah, so I'm looking forward. This will be fun. Yeah, you build. There's a bunch of tiles here. You're building the solar system per each game. You're making bigger. You're adding stuff on. There's some reset points where some things go back, and you clear your scoring every game. From what I understand, a couple hours per game. First couple games are going to be, according to Jim, a lot quicker than that. Just kind of tutorials getting started up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to delving into this and seeing. We agreed that if we play the first couple and we don't like it for whatever reason, then we'll maybe move on to something else. But I just don't know enough about it, I guess, and so I'm a little trepidatious about it. But I love my campaign games. I mean, Carlos makes fun of me all the time. You can't get this guy to finish a campaign. You can't keep me away from finishing one once we get it started, and we're still going to finish.
No matter how bad it is.
Yeah, we're going to finish. What whatchamacallit up there, the Ryan Lockett game one of these days with Dan and with Nick, so we can get that game back to Nick one of these days.
Like the sailing
Sleeping
one, right?
Gods, yes.
Sleeping Gods, yeah.
Sleeping Gods up there. We still got to finish that. So I think we got about a 2 or 3 hour session of that left, and we'll be done. But anyway, so Solar 175 is one we're jumping into. But thanks for reminding me, Jim, about I finished up the Ticket to Ride. I got deemed to take that home. I think I was deemed as the person most likely to possibly play it again some point in the future. It is replayable. There are a bunch of little rules that you'd have to teach because the way the board is, but it's a complicated version of Ticket to Ride. So if anybody wants to play the final board and you want to be spoiled on it, let me know. I'd be willing to play it again for sure. So anyway, thanks for Jim for reminding me about that. But yeah, that's a big stepping stone there.
Wayne,
you said no twig for you this week?
No twig this week?
Yeah. September 30th is end of the fiscal year for Feds, so busy week reporting things.
Sure.
But I'm getting ready tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. I'm getting ready to head to Necronomicon and bringing a bunch of games. So I probably will get, 15, 20, 30 games played this weekend. So I'm excited. Trying to pick out the games. I know that a couple of my friends haven't played Finspan yet, so I'm going to bring Finspan because I enjoy Wingspan. So I'll do that. Probably bring Manhattan Project, Energy Empire, and probably Lords of Waterdeep and a couple others. So I'm trying to figure out what ones to bring. So I'm excited for that. So it'd be good. Yeah, it's a good gaming weekend.
Do they have a game library there at all, or is it just?
They do. They have what's interesting is what I like is they don't really have a huge game library, right? A lot of people bring their own games and run their own games, and there's like RPGs, but they do a really good job of asking game companies for games for free, right? And so they'll have 100 games in their game library, and as you play them, you're immediately entered to win it. Mm-hmm. And they just give them all away at the end of the con every time.
Oh man, so they're not building a library.
No, they're not building a library at all. They literally just ask for demo games from companies, or get donations from people for games. And there are some games that they kind of leave in the library, and it's maybe someone's personal collection. But then there's a whole shelf of all these games we're giving away at the end of the con.
The play to win, yeah. They do the Sobos, up in Louisiana. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it's cool. I know that 20 Strong is a game that just chip theory game, I think.
Yep.
I saw that in the game library already, so I don't know if that's a play to win or not, but that does interesting. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So.
Daryl got that. He posted some pictures in the Discord, and he was telling us about it a little bit when we were playing Ticket to Ride the other night. Actually, at that point, he had not played it, but anybody in the Discord could see that he played it. It sounded like from his first play of the base game, the base kind of tutorial deck, he didn't sound like he was as as blown away by it as he was hoping to. So hopefully that'll change as he plays. Yeah. I guess the different decks, the different boxes add different mechanics and different play styles, and so hopefully he'll find his stride there. But it's a solo only game. I didn't know that until just recently. But just single player only. So I'm hoping that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, I'm definitely get a bunch of games played this weekend, which should be good. So that'll pad out my September, which has been a good month of the gaming. So
nice.
Part of my twig that isn't gaming isn't a game. Isn't actually having played a game. Is currently reading through the rules for Deliverance. It's currently on my table. You can see it here with the playmat. I got the metal coins and the minis out. Got it all set up, kind of going through the rule book. I will say I'm struggle bussing to get through these rules. I don't know if I had to copy the rules out in front of me, but they did one of those things that Tom Vassell talks about not liking, where the rule book is exactly the same dimensions as the box, right?
Oh,
which we all agree it makes sense because you don't want the rule book flopping around in there getting all bent. But then what you end up having is this rule book, because this is a big box. Look how big this rule book is, Wayne, and you hold this thing, and it's over a tabloid size piece of paper. So it's huge. It's huge, and it's tough to read through comfortably. Yeah. And then I'm struggling to stay engaged with the rules. I don't understand, and I can't pinpoint it exactly. It could be the wording, it could be the organization of it. I feel like I have to keep reading, or it could just be my old age. I have to keep reading the same paragraph over and over again just to grok what it's trying to say to me.
I think I tried to play this once on BGA.
Well, I know I did. And we quit before
quit
everybody even got
it
a
was
turn
just
in.
like, yeah, it was couldn't
figure out what
follow
to
it.
do.
It was really, yeah, I think maybe even Chris, not Chris.
Somebody had
Chris?
started it. Yeah,
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, from Texas.
Might have been Chris. Yeah,
He started a game, invited us, and we playing. And after like the first round, I'm just like, guys, I'm gonna quit this game because I'm not following
we
it
didn't
at
even get
all.
through setup because I couldn't even figure out how to click on the thing on BGA to put people down. And so I talked to Jim about that because he owns Deliverance, and he said that the setup of the game is wonky. He said just out of the thing to
the
be able to
BGA implementation.
Or he said even in real life, he said that you have to know rules about the game to even be able to set up the board.
That's what I like. Okay, so normally what I like to do when I learn a rule set is I will get the rule book out and I'll go through the set up the game and I'll set it up on the table, right? But Rob's right. It says place the minis on the spots correlating to X, and I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something because that just doesn't like jive.
Yeah.
So then when you read deeper in the rules, then it explains a little bit more about how that gets placed on there.
Yeah, well, on BGA it tells me to place my first figure, and I was clicking all over the board, just randomly clicking, and I could never get to anything that would allow me to place my first figure. And I was like, I for a couple days went by, and that's when Wayne said, he's like, I'm not even feeling this game. And then Chris was like, all right, if you guys want to quit. I was like, I can't even figure out how to put my first dude on the board, much less get into the rules of this game.
I kind of tried to read the rules, and I watched like a little bit of a video, and I'm just like, well, this is a game where you need somebody who's figured it out to teach you, because this is not a game that's easy to learn. And that's you know,
that's where I'm at right now.
Maybe it's a good game. I'm sure it's a decent game. It's not a horrible game, right? It's probably pretty good. But like, if it's that high a lift to like learn and try to figure it out, and then like hear James saying, Deliverance, there are two ways to play, and annoyingly the rule book tries to do both at once. Yeah, that's like, yeah. So like,
that's
I'm
where
sure
I've been this week because I brought it up at no, wait, there was another game I played, Hero Quest. Saturday, went over to a buddy's house from church. So found out that he played Hero Quest as a kid. I told him I got it all. Invited us over. My wife, his wife, they teach together the childcare, the preschool at the church, so they know each other. He and I met at a men's group Bible study, and so we hit it off. Insurance guy too.
Oh, really?
Small world. Small world. So he does insurance too. So we hit it off on many points. But went over to his house, played Hero Quest with his kids. We didn't get to finish it. It was a Friday night. They had a set, so we had a set time to end it. But I talked about Deliverance, and he's like, oh, his wife is like, oh, I want to play that. He was like, I want to play that. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get the rules out. And now I'm like, oh man, like I gotta learn this.
Put them away.
Yeah,
I will figure this out. I will report back next week because my goal is to get this solo played through and then see if I understood the rules right.
Nice. I think tangentially, I video game champion and a couple games I picked up at Dice Tower East. I'm going to bring those and try to get them played this weekend, so I can, because I want to figure out if I like the game or not. So
nice.